Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? What? Doomsday fish, a dark omen, an end time harbinger, a sign of an impending doom, earthquake for San Diego, California. I don't even want to say it because I love San Diego or Southern California somewhere. We don't know. But Mike around the world's been talking about the earthquake that's going to cause San Diego to literally tip 45 degrees and slide in the ocean. I don't want to believe that. I really don't. But here's something that's really bothering me. On March 2011, there was a major earthquake that hit Japan, 9.0. Okay, you remember it, with a massive tsunami that killed 26,000 people and left 6 nuclear reactors melting down. Now, what I would like to do is tell you what happened just before that quake and what just happened in California. But first, let's put a shout out and calm down just a minute. Let's just put a shout out for getolive1.com/Paul. That's getolive1.com/Paul. But first, listen, we partnered with Dr. Stephen Gundry, MD. And would you believe me if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? That's right. It's true. It's not just some weird, trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, folks, it's olive oil. You're probably used to cooking with it, but there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger like me. Okay? For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Thank you. Besides helping you look younger, thank you so much. On the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. Besides helping you look younger, as I'm trying my best to convince you of, on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, this famous cardiologist and surgeon, a nutrition expert, a health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible, whether it's taking a shot of it daily or just keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet. Guys, but what kind of olive oil should you use for your health? Well, any olive oil will do some good. There's some benefits. But if you're looking to get the best results, it matters a lot which one you pick. The olive oil industry is huge, and you can tell by the number of olive oil brands you see at the grocery store. And you can even bet that they're not all made with the consumer in mind. And many brands may even cut some corners, guys, one way or another, of course, to increase their profits. You don't like that. So Dr. Stephen Gundry came to this realization, and he was appalled by that. But some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few teaspoons a week, and you'll see these incredible health benefits. So here's what you can do. You need to do this. You need to go right now to getolive1.com/Paul. In an effort to answer these questions, Dr. Stephen Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. The video below this, the link below this video, it says getolive1.com/Paul. That's getolive1.com/Paul. Click it, go watch it, understand the greatness of God's creativeness of olive oil. All right. And you'll know just why. You'll be glad you did. Okay. Well, having said all of that, let us go right now to the matter at hand, which is Doomsday fish. Now, guys, this fish behind me is the actual fish. They found this thing. They brought it forward. Matter of fact, it was 12 feet long. These kids found it. They were out snorkeling and scuba diving, and then they brought this fish up to the surface. It's 12 feet long. It's incredible. I mean, literally incredible. It's an oarfish, and there's only been 20 of them. This was number 20 that has ever been washed ashore on the beaches of California since 1901. Since 1901. And the last time one came ashore, there was a major earthquake. You remember it during the World Series up in San Francisco Bay Area. Now, there was another one that came up, but it was debatable on that one. I think that was like 10 years ago or something. But this one here came up. We know it came up because something's happening down in the bottom of the ocean in the depths. And so, matter of fact, there, like I said, these things come up when a lot of times it's an omen of a tremendous earthquake. And so there's some really, I'm kind of stunned on some of this stuff, because when you think about it, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? It's just not good to have this kind of stuff happening. Okay. It's just really not. We don't need another omen or another harbinger, another prophecy even, that's telling us about impending doom. But we already know what the Bible says, and it does say the sea and the waves will be roaring. It also says there will be earthquakes. Okay, there's just no denying that. So let me tell you what it says here, and then we're going. Mike from the World predicted this. The thing is, Thursday night he predicted this. Are you serious? That we would be seeing creatures that would start coming up from the ocean. He said it was already happening in other parts of the world. And of course, we know that it's a rare, I don't think you can see that, rare doomsday fish found off the coast of Southern California by a group of snorkelers and kayakers. According to the Ocean Conservatory, in some parts of the world, oarfish are seen as being harbingers of bad news, omens of destruction. A group of kayakers and snorkelers found an extremely rare deep-sea fish nicknamed Doomsday fish. Mike's going to tell us here in just a second. Off the coast of Southern California. On August, recently, this group encountered this 12-foot oarfish while exploring La Jolla Cove near San Diego, California. I've been there several times. That's where a lot of the seals come up, and you can go watch the seals. It's really a beautiful area. It's beautiful, La Jolla Cove. Are you serious? Anyway, the Scripps Institution of Oceanography has shared on their post, leaving photos of the ocean goers posing with the fish, which came forward. It's only the 20th time that an oarfish has surfaced and washed up on the beaches of California since 1901. With help from the NOAA Fisheries Service and California Sea Grant team members, the group was able to coordinate with lifeguards to transport this fish to the NOAA facility. Scientists from NOAA Southwest Fisheries Science Center and Scripps Oceanography will perform, of course, an autopsy. I'm going to show you a picture of the people. See if I can get there. It is. Let's see. Let me hang on. I know I got different technology working here today. Come on. There it is. Okay, it's the best I can do. This thing's huge, and there it is. As the people are bringing it ashore. Huge. So, okay. When they're done with this autopsy, the specimen will find a home in Scripps Marine Vertebrate Collection there in the museum, where scientists will further study this unusual species. According to the Ocean Conservancy, the oarfish is a strikingly large, odd-looking fish known for its distinctively long, ribbon-shaped body that enables the species to float inconspicuously throughout the water column. They also have large, huge eyes, red spines that stick out to form a crown-like cluster. Oarfish, which feed primarily on krill, plankton, and other small crustaceans, can grow to more than 30 feet. This thing was only 12. This was a baby. Okay. Anyway, Mike from the World last Thursday night said that these types of events were going to happen. Now, like we said, guys, the reason this fish is called the Doomsday fish is because they surface and they will wash up usually just a few days before a major earthquake. I want you to, and that's what happened on March 11/11, that mega quake that hit Japan at 9.0. Now, there was 4 days before that, a large oarfish washed up on the shores of Japan. I want you to, here's Mike around the world from Thursday.
Water leaking is damaging, of course, it's going to damage life, all types of life in the ocean, not to mention us, right? Which is why a lot of mutated fish
Mike, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You're about the fish. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. The fish are mutated, and we have enough changes in the ocean. The heat in the ocean continues to rise. Life is
See, we were being censored Thursday night.
call some of these things are huge, right?
Okay.
Like again, some of the serpents we're seeing. Think of a serpent the girth of a telephone pole, a little bigger than a telephone pole.
Mike, that's Leviathan.
They keep seeing them. They keep seeing them. Now, not just one. We're not talking about one. They keep seeing them, plural. And people are scared to death, right? Some people have stated they'll never go back into the ocean again. There are people who have retired or gotten out of their jobs.
Are you talking about oarfish, Mike, or other?
No,
okay.
not oarfish. Oarfish are those, you can see it, you can tell an oarfish.
Yeah.
They're quite slim, they're long, right? They're long, but they're quite slim. But we're talking about something that swims like a serpent in the ocean, right? That's huge, that eats, they eat those off the coast of Florida. I don't want to ping the broadcast by saying the name, but they had a problem with a certain species of big, sea mammal, right?
Okay, I know.
And they said they were disappearing. And a long time ago, I told you before that the Coast Guard ran into that big, species, and these things are eating those species.
Are you talking
right?
Are you talking manatees, or are you talking whales?
No. These are the first thing you said.
Manatees. Okay.
Yeah. So you had that problem in Florida. In fact, about, I think it was a month and a half later, after I said something about those serpents being spotted by the first couple ones that were spotted, they came up with that cover story. They had that big story about those things and how they were starving to death and this, that, and they were dying, right? Well, the truth was many went missing. The population decreased almost instantly. Yeah. So these things are surfacing. And it's not too unusual because they've seen some extraordinary species of octopus and squid and different types of sharks they've never seen before, and fish. And there's even a large seahorse type looking thing that's about 2.5 feet tall. Seahorses are not supposed to be 2.5 feet tall. So these deep dwellers are coming up. They're changing their depth at which they swim, and it's because the bottom of the ocean is quite active. It's very active. So you're going to have some large species come up. They have another. They had a squid, right? The eyeball of that squid, I believe, was 3.5 feet in diameter, or something like that.
No.
That was one of the big species. They found another species that was the size of a. You think it'd have a tiny body. No, this thing had a huge body, and it was found on the side of a submarine. It somehow locked itself on the side of a submarine, right? What are our subs? And
demons.
Yeah, well, it's a common thing for ships to go to port in Norfolk and have these sucker marks on them, right? Because you're talking about a species that is quite deep. They've been filmed, I believe, to date 4 or 5 times. They've been actually filmed.
Are we?
Right?
Do they have a name? I mean, do we even have a name for these creatures? Leviathan?
They just call them giant. They call the squid things giant squid. The giant squid species. Now these other
Doomsday
serpentine-looking things, which are black on the top, white on the bottom. That's how they look. They're about the girth of a telephone pole. They're quite lengthy, and they are super fast.
Are they aggressive? Are they aggressive?
Yes, very highly. Because when they attack in Florida, when they attacked that one specimen, it was like lightning. It just like a snake would strike on land, so it did the same thing in water, right? So
serpent of the sea.
I suspect an entire populace of those things are going to become quite common in the world, period. So people are going to run. This is not something that's going to be hidden. This is not some cryptid. This is not something else. This is real, right? They're going to begin to surface. And as soon as the human casualties pile up, that's going to change the whole game. And then, things will go from there. A lot of that is due to these large creatures being pushed up by volcanism, deep in the ocean.
Right.
The oceans are hot. I mean, super hot. Same thing in the Gulf. The Gulf has something in it, right? It was about 13, 14 times some large creature has been spotted in the Gulf of Mexico, right? And we're talking large, like large.
I mean, bigger than these
Large,
telephone poles.
bigger than the biggest whale that we have, right? It's bigger than that.
Bigger than the
much,
what?
yeah,
My
it's much
killer
bigger than
whale.
that.
Are you serious, Mike?
Yeah, and the sound it makes is quite powerful. It's almost it almost knocked the acoustic sensors of because the Navy has ports out there, observation ports and training ports and everything else, and they're the ones who have that cataloged, right? They have it cataloged, so they've had incidences with something in the Gulf is humongous out there, right? It's starting to that whatever that is starting to surface. Now, what it is, nobody knows. Nobody knows. They just know it's huge.
They know it's gigantic.
So
we're dealing with creatures that are not even been discovered, or if they have, I mean, they have been, but they're not talked about because there's whatever this thing is. You know, the Bible talks about Leviathan, who's the serpent of the sea, and he's just like incredibly massive.
He's huge.
Are
we dealing with? Are these demonic entities that are?
You know what? I personally, I think they're just regular animals.
Just really? Dark
that are not quite cataloged yet. I do. I just think they're regular animals that are not because they discover hundreds of species every single month that they've never seen before. Some of them are quite large.
Wow.
And as you know, as Fukushima, for example, as it continues to pour radiation into the oceans, that will start to shift wildlife in the oceans.
I can see that.
Right? They're going to get away from that radiation.
Yeah.
Which is, the seals have it the worst. The sharks have it bad, on the coast of California because they get most of that radiation. And if they don't fix it, we're going to continue to have that problem. And it could, that number could double every, 180 days. We don't know. It just
coast of California, and this huge sea monster that just washed up. That's 12 foot long and there's only been 20 of them washed up since 1901. It's also it's considered by a lot of people in the world a very dark omen. It could be a biblical harbinger because the Bible does say, God says, I will shake everything loose, including the fishes of the sea. And this is why they call it the Doomsday fish, because a lot of times when these things surface, an earthquake follows just in a few days after. California. Mike's been talking about this. I don't want to hear about this, but he keeps bringing it up. And now the Doomsday fish has arrived in San Diego. Have you been to Jesus for the cleansing power? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully trusting in His grace this hour? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood? That's right. In the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb. Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Oh, yes! Are you walking daily by the Savior's side? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Do you rest each moment in the crucified? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Or are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? And be washed in the blood of the Lamb. Come on. Doomsday fish. Let's just say this. There are signs, prophetic signs as well. But Earthquakes in diverse places. That's deep.
When the bridegroom cometh, will your robes be white? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Will your soul be ready for those mansions bright and be washed in the blood of the Lamb? Or are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Now lay aside those garments that are stained with sin and be washed in the blood of the Lamb. There's a fountain flowing for the soul unclean. Oh, be washed in the blood of the Lamb. Are you washed in the blood?
Yep, we got a super blue moon tonight.
Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?
Very rare. Super blue moon.
Are you serious?
Well, we're very serious. Yeah, there is going to be a super blue moon tonight. Very rare. And I'll be doing a video on that a little bit later. But it's really strange. That's happening tonight, the same time that the Democratic National Convention is convening. And wow, there's thousands of people in the streets already protesting, very angry at President Biden and Vice President Harris over the war in the Middle East. So there's these protesters out there, very angry, demanding to be let in the convention and to speak. Meanwhile, Biden is going to have to go up on the platform and basically concede and walk away. They're putting him on the very first night. That way they can shove him off the stage and be done with him as they move forward with this mysterious process of what they call democracy, in which the guy who won got all the votes and won the primary didn't matter. The party shoved him aside. So it's really strange what's going on. We don't know what's happening in this country. It's all happening tonight on a very super blue moon. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. But is this a doomsday fish? Is this doomsday fish a sign of a soon? I mean, we just had an earthquake, 5.2 in LA, but I'm just saying, let's pray that this is just a sign of the end times and not necessarily a harbinger, a dark omen of a massive earthquake in California. I'm praying against that and hoping and praying. But I do know that we are living in the last days and earthquakes are coming and they are happening. So give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time. Mike talked about this on Thursday night, and here we are today telling you it has happened. Are you serious? Are you saved?